Welcome, everyone. My name is Philip Page, Superintendent, and I am so excited that you are with us tonight. If you are, those of you who are my age, you know the movie Field of Dreams, that iconic line, if you build it, they will come. Well, we have built something tonight, and I'm glad that you have come to see what it's going to be. This is so exciting for our school system for a couple of reasons. One is this kind of completes our school system from all areas of academics. If you probably already know, if you know anything about our Bartow County school system, we have the best college and career academy anywhere. If you just look at what they do there, the pathways those students complete, that is something I encourage all students to look at, because as we just calculated graduation rate for that College and Career Academy today, they're almost 96% graduation rate for students that attend our College and Career Academy. A lot of those students, they're not necessarily interested in what some of you sitting here may be interested in, and that is that traditional four-year college experience. But even beyond that traditional four-year college experience, thinking beyond that, thinking about that doctoral program, thinking about that studying or that job overseas, or getting into the engineering or robotics or gaming, what you have to do, that next level of education, even beyond a bachelor's degree. So what we're excited about is, as those students who, many of them graduate our College and Career Academy with multiple job offers when they walk across the stage at graduation, and we're really excited about that. What we want to do with our magnet program is not only complement that, if students who are interested there, but to really focus in on students, many of you, like you, who are here tonight, who want to go and be competitive to any university in our country or internationally. See, that is our goal with our magnet program. As you're going to hear tonight, whether you are interested in the magnet program that will be at Cass High School, that will be at Woodland, that will be at Adairsville, all of our magnet programs are going to do this for you. They're going to prepare you to compete with any student in the country at any university you're interested in attending. Because there's certain things that we have found that universities look for, and there's certain things that we have found that make a student competitive against anyone else. And I'm excited tonight that we're going to be able to share that with you. So there's two important things about knowing why you want to be part of a magnet program. One is, it's going to make your high school experience more relevant. Each of our magnet programs is going to bring in the relevance of your passion, of what you're specifically interested in. And in just a few minutes, you're going to hear exactly what these three unique magnet programs offer and the passion that they're going to bring out in the students who participate. But secondly, as I mentioned, they are going to prepare you to compete, to be an elite student that can go up against any student around for that coveted college admission answer acceptance that you're going to be looking for when you graduate high school in the Bartow County school system. So with that, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad that we have this great turnout. I'm glad that our board members, I think we have our board members here tonight. If you would, please stand. We'd like to thank you for being a part of this tonight. So with that, let's kind of take a look at what we're going to be doing tonight over the next 40 minutes. Tonight's agenda is going to include a magnet overview. We're going to talk in just a few minutes about what you can expect through this experience. You're going to hear from Adairsville Magnet Program Principal, Coordinator. You're going to hear from Cass Magnet Program Coordinator, Principal, and Woodlands Magnet Program Coordinator and Principal. Then we're going to talk about some of the logistics, some of the questions that you may have come in here tonight, and what we have heard going through this process of developing these programs. And then we're going to talk about really the importance of what's in that folder and the next steps that you received when you came through the door today. All right, what is it? I'll let you read that while I kind of talk about it for a second. Each of our magnet programs is focused on a particular passion, whether, as you will see, it's medical sciences, whether it's international studies, or whether it's science, technology, and math. They are focused through advanced curriculum, advanced content classes, advanced placement classes. It's going to be, each one is going to be heavy in an advanced science research class that allows you to develop an idea, to look at a problem That is one of the keys that all of the universities, the top universities, are now looking for. When you decide to apply in 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, I know we have a wide range of students here. When you get ready to apply to that elite university, that elite college, what they're going to ask you is, have you been part of a magnet program? You're going to be able to check that. Have you done any type of official research with mentorships, presentations, capstone project? You're going to be able to check that box. And you're going to be able to do this advanced research. You're going to be able to study in your area of passion with a lot of community support and with a lot of faculty and staff who have been trained to make sure that when you leave our magnet program, you are as prepared as anyone can be in that particular area. But make no mistake, it's not easy. As a parent who's had 2 children go through the magnet program, it's tough. But I can tell you, as a parent with 2 children, one at a private university, just graduated private college in New York, and one who's a junior at Georgia, they both have said, Dad, because of what we were able to do in our magnet program, college has been a lot easier than our friends that we've talked to that didn't have this experience, because you are going to get prepared for that next level. And this is what it's going to do. Now, here's our purpose for pursuing magnet programs. It's going to provide you additional academic opportunities that are currently not offered in our school system. They will be available for you, and you're going to learn a little bit more about those as each of our schools present. Provide our students the opportunity to accelerate in a specialized area of interest. You are going to be in an accelerated course offerings where you're going to see that all of our magnet programs are going to be offering 20-plus advanced placement classes. And most of them have a required minimum of 9 to graduate. But you're going to have that support to get through that. And you're going to see how that's going to happen as we move through here. Advanced placement classes do a couple of things for you. One, they make you highly competitive as you compete for those elite college admission spots. But what they also do is they save you some money when you go to college. Because for every advanced placement class that you take that test, and in most cases make a 3 or higher on the exam, you get college credit for it. So we have many magnet students in other systems that have gone through the program. They're entering college at almost sophomore level in many cases. And that does a couple of good things for you. One, it obviously allows you to save some money on courses, but 2, it allows you to many times double major or to allow you to pursue other interests without having to pay the extra money or stay the extra amount of time in college that it often requires. Increase our AP opportunities not only for our current students in the magnet program, but for students around. This is not a program that's exclusive of what's going on at the other schools. This is a program where we include the magnet students with the student body, and it's not a separate school within a school. It is part of that school's fabric. And you'll see that you become a member of that school when you are accepted in their magnet program and all the rights and responsibilities that go with being a student there. Whether it's playing sports, clubs, activities, it doesn't matter. You are that student completely, and you get to do everything that that school gets to do with their students. Connect with businesses across our county. We already have some elite partnerships. We're not going to get into those individually tonight, but as you go to the school's open house that you have interest in, you're going to get a lot of detailed information about what those partnerships are, some of them in our own county, many of them outside of our county, and how they're going to be partnering with our schools and students and staff. Strengthening our college and career readiness. This is where you are going to separate yourself if you're in our magnet program. You will be college and career ready and competitive. And you're going to create a sense of belonging in an area of interest that you have. Some of you coming in stop to tell us, I really want to be this when I grow up. And we've all had those dreams and aspirations. Well, it's our job as a school system to start preparing you and working with you now to make sure that we give you the best chance to meet that as a reality in your life. So here are our schools and our locations. At Dayersville High School, they're going to be the Advanced Studies in Science, Technology, and Math, CAS, Center for Advanced International Studies, and Woodland, the Center for Advanced Studies in Medical Science. And a key thing that I want you to think about as we begin to explain these, you can apply to all of these. Tonight, what I want you to do is listen to them all. Listen and see what sparks your interest. Because in many cases, you're going to apply, and you can apply to all 3. You might get accepted to all 3, and then that's when you have to start to really drill down like you would a college Which one's going to be the right fit for me? Which of these magnet programs is going to give me that interest and in just creating that passion I have within in this area? Because they're all going to prepare you to compete at the next level. But where are you going to get the most excited? And it's a lot like what's going to happen 4 or 5 years from now when you apply to colleges and you get accepted by 5 colleges and universities, and now you've got to visit and decide which one's right for me. Many of you sitting here tonight, you're going to get accepted to every magnet program that you apply to. And then that's when you and your family will have to come together and say, what's best for me? What's going to allow me to create the most passion that I can have my 4 years of high school? So Dr. Trapani is going to come back up now. He's going to take you through the timeline. How did we get to where we are today? And then what do you need to know to make sure that you don't miss any deadlines so that you can have the best chance of being accepted into one or more of these programs? Thank you.
Good job. Are y'all excited? Yes. I can tell you right now, this attendance tonight, this is amazing. So thank you so much for coming out. We have worked really hard way back, starting in the spring of last year, to get this done. And I think it's important you understand the timeline, because this was a collaborative effort that started last spring with teachers, administrators, central office staff, parents to get this together. So it's important to see that this started with a lot of energy, and this night is huge for us. So thank you all for being here. But we wouldn't really be here without the support of our board. Can we just give one more shout out to them? Because they approved us to do this, and that's huge. So thank you. Thank you so much. And the board approved this idea, this momentum, this process back in the summer, as you can see on the screen up there. And then we started going for it right then. We started working really hard. And through Dr. Page's leadership, one of the first things we did quickly was we hired 3 really important people, our 3 magnet coordinators. So with Beth Payton at Adairsville, who you'll meet later on, with Emily Thompson at Cass, and with Eric Willoughby at Woodland, when they got on board, and with the help of Dr. Doss and Paula Camp, this came alive. And this is what we've been working on really hard back in July through August, building and promoting. And we've been out to schools, we've been to community events, we've talked to different businesses. We've been promoting this, so many people trying to build and connect with businesses across our system. So as we've been building this, we started promoting to the students. As you know, this week, raise your hand if you saw us come out this week and talk about magnet schools. And thank you for being here. We heard it was really exciting. We had our group go to all the middle schools and talk about this magnet opportunity. Tonight is part of our promotional process. And thank you all for coming once again. This is our second phase of this promotion to the system. In the next couple weeks, as you probably saw in your folder, we're going to have 3 events, 1 per school, that will talk about their specific magnet program. So that will help us promote it. And I got to give a shout out to Alicia Evans. Where is she? Right here. She's been promoting this so well through our media, our social media, and through the community, our paper. Thanks to the paper for being here, Donna Harris, and everybody who support. That has been huge. So I'm hoping with all that is why you're here tonight, right? And ready to go forward. So going forward, the next big step is the online application. That's right, it's online. Starting in November 1st, the online application will open up via a link. It'll be on each website system and each school, and you will be able to apply all the way up until December 20th. So we're giving you guys almost 2 months to make a decision if you want to apply, right? Can you handle that? The application will ask a number of couple questions and some other things, and you'll fill that out. And once you do that, you hit submit. And then our goal is to tabulate and bring all this information together and let our students know who got accepted and who possibly didn't by the early part of February. So you see the timeline there? We want to get this list completed by February so we can invite everybody back who got accepted to the school of their choice to make that commitment, because that's what we're big on in Bartow County Schools, is a commitment. So each school will have an open house to invite all the people back, all the students back who were accepted, and then you'll make your big commitment. And then awesome will be 2020-21, we'll have our first cohort of freshman magnet students that will begin. Can you believe that? So just thinking 4 years from there, we'll have our first seniors. So we are so excited about this process, and it's been a a really good journey, and I'm just very proud of the team that's worked so hard, so thank you all. And I hope this all makes sense because we put a lot of work into it. Can I get a thumbs up or something that makes sense? Okay. We like to get something that says we're doing something right. So now it's my honor to invite up the principal of Adairsville, Mr. Mulkey, and his awesome magnet coordinator, Beth Payton, and they're going to go into a little more detail about their program, okay? Thank you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. What an exciting time to be a part of the Bartow County school system, and what an awesome opportunity for the graduating class of 2024. As Dr. Chaprani said, my name is Bruce Mulkey, and as the principal of Adairsville High School, it's my privilege to share with you tonight some opportunities that the Center for Advanced Studies in Science, Technology, and Math, try to say that real fast 3 times, have to offer you and your families. But like Dr. Page did, before I do that, I feel obligated, parents, to share a personal testimony with you that I think will give you some perspective and some insight into the value that a magnet program can bring to the table. My daughter is a 2016 graduate of Adairsville High School, and she's currently a senior at Georgia Tech, where soon she'll be graduating with 2 degrees. Now, as a principal of Adairsville High School, I've always been proud of the advanced academics and that high school experience that Bartow County Schools has to offer. And as a matter of fact, I would put those experiences against and compare them with any other high school in Northwest Georgia. But over the last year and a half, she, my wife, and myself have realized there are some gaps and there are some holes in her resume. And those gaps and those holes have put her at a significant disadvantage as she's competed with her peers at Georgia Tech for potential job opportunities and internships. So parents, as you leave tonight, one thing I need you to remember is this. All 3 of these magnet programs are going to compare elite academics and a well-rounded high school experience with research, hands-on projects, and job-embedded opportunities where our students are going to be working beside business partners, professionals, and experts in the field of study, as Dr. Page said, that's going to prepare our students to compete with any student for admission into any university across the country. They are that powerful. They have that much potential. Now, students, here's my testimony to you, okay? I'll share this with you. Even though her dad is the principal at Adairsville High School, my daughter probably would have applied for the magnet program at Cass High because that's where her passion is. Her passion is not dad at home, I assure you. She would have applied for the position or the program at Cass High. Parents, I tell you that to tell you this, and I know I'm going down a rabbit hole, but it is important. It's imperative that you take time to explore all 3 programs. Go visit all 3 high schools so that you can find that perfect fit for you and your family. Okay? It's truly got an opportunity. You have an opportunity to make a difference several years down the road. All right. So with that, here's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about Adairsville High School and our unique program. And I want to bring Miss Beth Payton on stage. Miss Payton, you didn't clap for me. So Miss Payton is our magnet coordinator, and she has taken the lead in designing our magnet program and the 3 courses of study she's going to talk to you about.
Thank you. Okay, so when we were named the Center for Advanced Studies in Science, Technology, and Math, you're right, that's a hard one. We had to look at it. It's a very broad umbrella. For those of you that work in that field, you know that covers a lot of ground. We wanted to be intentional. We wanted to give students programs that they were not only interested in, but had sustainability in the future. That they could go to college and find those programs that were growing, that they would be able to get a job in about 10 years when they come about. So we chose the specialized programs of engineering, computer science, and environmental science. We did this after first polling students. We wanted to know student interest. What were they interested in? After we spoke to them, we visited colleges. We talked to professors. We talked to deans. We went outside and talked to the industry. We talked to the expert in the fields. What do these students need to be successful? What do they need to study? And we are still getting a lot of input back, and they are helping us. We are working hand in hand with them in order to give your kids and our students meaningful learning experiences, ones that I wish that I had had when I was in high school as well. So the first one is engineering. They will get very unique course offerings in engineering. They'll start off with basic application, but even from getting their foot in the door in 9th grade, our experts are coming in the door and working with them in a STEM lab. They're going to get hands-on. We're laying down the textbook and the paper and the pencil for just a second, and we are going to get hands-on with STEM learning. We're creating a learning lab in which they can do projects and be innovative. A hole that Mr. Mulkey had alluded to when he was talking about his daughter were critical thinking skills. We heard that a lot as we spoke to professors in colleges, that a lot of students come with AP experience and are very smart, but one of the things that they lack in is critical thinking, problem-solving skills. So we want to give them a platform in which they can use those skills and put them to work. Engineering is one of those that it lends itself to that. They'll be able to take robotics, astronomy for our aerospace engineering. They'll be able to compete in robotics competitions, and they'll be able to work alongside of expert engineers. Our second one, computer science. I can't tell you how many of your kids, I don't know if you know this, but they are some gamers, right? So when we spoke to them, they were all about gaming and apps, which I'm sure you know this because they won't stay off of their phones or any of their gaming devices. So we decided to make something they love into something they could do and a meaningful experience. As you know, the latest iPhone, it feels like a new one comes out every month. Technology changes very rapidly, and we want for them to stay on that cutting edge and be knowledgeable. I don't know how many times I've turned to a student and say, how do I do this on my phone? And they know because they use that practical application, and we're, again, going to give them that platform in our STEM lab to be able to delve into that and make it a future career. So it won't just be gaming, it'll be app development, programming, and coding, but they will have the resources at Adairsville High School to do that. And our last one, on a personal note, I wish I had had this. My undergraduate, I went and got an undergraduate degree in marine science. And I'm a proud alum of Bartow County Schools. And I wish I had had this opportunity when I was here. Environmental science will encompass any and all living sciences. So we have the physical aspect of science and the technology, and now we're going to offer environmental for those that want to go into a living aspect such as zoology, botany, plants, oceanography. We've even got some entomology for our bug lovers. We have got it all, right? So these are courses that they'll be able to take and specialized avenues in which they'll get to explore their interest. Along with our 3 pathways, all of our programs are going to get that hands-on field experience. We have gone out of our doors, gotten in very outside of our comfort zone, and sought after experts in these fields to work with our students because we have phenomenal teachers, but we know to bring this program to life, we're going to need those experts to come in and say, this is what we do in the field. Come do this with us. So they're going to get that hands-on experience. They're also going to get to research from day one, authentic research, that when they graduate and they are able to have an AP capstone diploma, they will have an authentic piece of research that they can promote to colleges that no one else will have except them. We also will offer study abroad opportunities, and this is something that all of our magnet programs will offer. As a STEM field, we would like to rotate our destinations. These are some pictures. This is not new to us. These are some pictures from last year's Costa Rica trip. And they were studying coastal conservation. We're going to implement the environmental, but we're also looking at destinations such as Iceland and Greece that also incorporate hands-on experiences in the STEM field. And they are very intentional. We're not just picking a spot on a map and saying, let's go. These are STEM-related trips, and these are opportunities that these magnet kids are going to have. Lastly, we are going to work on our 20+, and that is daunting, 20+ AP coursework opportunities. That's 20+ opportunities that your students are going to have to get college coursework before they even step foot into college. So yes, it's going to save money for you, but it's also going to save some time and heartache for them when they walk in that college door. And our state-of-the-art STEM lab is just going to be a resource to them and a piece, and I hope that it encourages you to come see us at our open house later this month, and we'll talk to you about those dates. Right now, I want to introduce Mr. Dr. Shaprani, who will talk to Mr. Dr. Shaprani, who will introduce our Cass High Magnet program.
Let's hear it for Adairsville. Great job, Beth. Now it's my pleasure to introduce Mr. Stephen Rivard, principal of Cass High School.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Chaprani. And good evening, everyone. My name is Steve Rivard. I'm the principal at Cass High School, and I am so thrilled to be one of the individuals here tonight to help answer a question that I'm sure many of you have, which is simply, what exactly is a school for international studies? Because the globe is big. There are a lot of different opportunities, a lot of ways in which we can go about students being well-versed in other cultures and languages and humanities. So I think the best place for us to start is to first answer the question, what does it mean to be a Cass Colonel? And at Cass High School, there are opportunities for everyone. Our students are athletes. Our students participate in the fine arts. Our students are involved in extracurricular, student-driven activities and initiatives that truly make you a part of the Colonel family. And being part of the Colonel family is what makes our already beautiful campus special and unique. So, what would it mean for you to be a Magnet student? Well, the answer is somewhat simple. We are going to bring the classroom to life. We're going to bring the classroom to life through advanced academics with AP courses and opportunities to take multiple world languages. We're going to bring the classroom to life through international travel opportunities that immerse you in the cultures of all different corners of the world. We're going to bring the classroom to life by providing you an opportunity to do a language immersive internship overseas. And Cass High School is going to provide to you the opportunity to bring and share your unique skills and passions with the rest of the world. Because the rest of the world is already sharing itself with you. Technology has created a global marketplace. We have businesses already here with a footprint in Bartow County that are from overseas. You're gonna have an opportunity to be a global ready student. And what that means is that there are a special set of skills and requirements necessary for you to be successful in today's global marketplace that weren't required by the previous generation. As the world continues to evolve, these are not going to be opportunities that are limited just to students that want to travel or study abroad. These are going to be opportunities for you to collaborate and solve the world's problems with diverse groups of people and focus on what the world needs, not just abroad, but also here in Bartow County. We already have businesses in the United States, in Georgia, in Bartow County that have footprints across the world. We already have international businesses that have footprints in Bartow County. So what a great opportunity for you to develop that unique skill set and enter the workforce, someone who's globally ready. So to answer the question, what is it for a School of International Studies? What does it have to offer to my student? Well, the answer is simple. You're gonna be a leader at Cass High School. You're gonna be a leader in this community, and you're gonna be a leader worldwide. And on that note, I'd like to introduce our phenomenal Magnet coordinator, Miss Emily Thompson, who's going to talk to you about the specifics of what we have to offer. Thank you so much.
Bonsoir. Comme dit le monsieur Rivard, je suis Emily Thompson et je suis la coordinatrice de Magnet de la lycée Cass. Je vais parler un peu de notre programme. Okay. Maybe this then. Yo soy Emily Thompson, yo soy la coordinadora del programa de Magnet de Cass High School y esta noche voy a pasar un poquito de tiempo con ustedes hablando de lo que es nuestro programa. A little better? Oh, now your children did not understand anything. I was hoping for a better result tonight, parents. but I guess I'm gonna have to use English, which is totally fine. And the reason that I'm speaking to you in multiple languages is because that is a central focus of what we're gonna be doing at Cass High School. So our focus, as Mr. Rivard was alluding to, is really a happy marriage of a study of the humanities and a study of world language. So I'm gonna give you some specifics on those two things tonight. So what we're gonna focus on with your students is really the global marketplace, which deals with the economic realm. So how do students navigate business? How do students navigate trade? How do they understand working with other people from different worlds and with different languages and being able to be effective in that realm? Another point of focus will be the international community, which really has to do more so with the social and the cultural realm. So it's teaching students the different beliefs of different people around the world. It's helping them work together even when they're different. And this is a really core thing for really anybody to learn, because it's gonna prepare them to be able to work more efficiently with others in whatever career field they choose. And finally, the final focus of the humanities will be world affairs, which really deals with government and politics. It's using those people skills that you use or that you're learning with the international community and applying them in political situations, learning how to solve world problems even when you may not all come from the same background. So that will be one of the main focuses. A lot of these, the courses that will help with the study of humanities will be the social studies classes. So if your student loves social studies, then this may be a program that they're interested in. The other half of what they will be studying with intense research will be world languages. And there's a very unique opportunity at Cass High School. We will be offering 5 world languages. We will be offering American Sign Language, French, Spanish, Arabic, and Mandarin Chinese. Now, you may be wondering, where did those come from? Why did you choose that? Well, we actually did a lot of research, and we took our time to make the decisions on which languages to offer. And we really wanted them to line up with the humanities side of things and be able to give your child a step up as they move into the career field. So I'm gonna give you a little bit of information about the research that we found so that you can understand why these languages will help your child. So American Sign Language. There are 360 million people worldwide that have hearing loss. That's 35% of Americans. Did anybody know that? That was shocking to me. And there's such a high demand for interpreters, and we really aren't meeting that need. So this is something that will, coming out of high school and going into college and coming out of college, it's really gonna give your kids an opportunity for employment. French is really connected to a lot of cultural aspects. So it is the official language of FIFA and also of the Olympics. So if your student is interested in the sports realm, this is a wide open door to them. It also is the most spoken language in all of Europe. And so a lot of the fashion and music and art that comes from those cultural concepts that come from Europe, it's communicated to us through French. It's also said that by 2060, it's estimated to be the most spoken language in the entire world. So obviously, we wanted to put some emphasis on French. Spanish, I feel like I don't even have to explain this one. We all see, just from everyday life, the impact that Spanish has on us. It is the second most spoken language in the entire world. It's spoken in 21 different countries. And actually, by 2050, it's predicted that nearly 30% of America will be speaking Spanish. So being able to have that skill, especially if your student maybe is interested in international studies but doesn't want to live abroad and travel, but they want to be here on American soil, that's a huge, huge component for success for them. We chose Arabic because Arabic is a critical language skill for our government. We don't have enough people who know how to speak Arabic, and for national security purposes as well as economy and trade, we need more people to speak Arabic. It's something that our government is trying to push, and we felt that it would be appropriate to give your students the opportunity to learn it, because if they come out of our program already showing I'm bilingual in Arabic, employers are gonna be like, oh, well, how much should we pay you? So there's a higher demand than what we currently have supplying for Arabic. And finally, we chose Chinese because it is the fastest growing economy. And whenever it comes to that, global marketplace piece that your students will be studying, this is a huge factor of kind of integrating them in that trade and that economical world. It is currently the most spoken language worldwide, and it is the greatest producer of goods. So it's the country that everybody trades with. So we, of course, want to be at the forefront of that as Americans. So hopefully that gave you kind of a little bit more explanation about why we chose this and how when you pair these two things together, the humanities side and the world language side, how it will give your child a step up moving into the career field. So you might be wondering, okay, what can you do with a career field in international studies? What does that even look like? What can my child do? Literally anything. The possibilities are endless. I've put some pictures up here of some common career choices that people make when they study international studies, but literally there's too many to put. Because if your student is passionate about medical sciences, if they're passionate about teaching, if they're passionate about whatever other realm that they have passion in, they can learn a broad base of knowledge with international studies, learning how to do those things, but with an international twist. And we can send them out into the world, and they can be effective because of the knowledge that they've gained learning about culture and language and different types of people. Very common ones are international business. A lot of people will represent a company worldwide and travel. Also ambassadors or diplomats, interpreters. One that the students really enjoyed hearing about this week was interpreting for the Braves, which I know that's kind of a sore spot right now for us Braves fans. But there is an interpreter in sports realms. There's an interpreter for the Braves who is always there for the interviews. That could be your child. And that's really amazing to think about, that they're contributing to sports in a different type of way than what we normally see. Military, law enforcement, it could be journalism, law. There are all kinds of opportunities for your student if they choose to pursue international studies. So one of our big focuses, being international studies, is international travel. And this is something that will be available to you at all of the programs, but at Cass, we focus on it very hardcore because it really makes a difference in what our students are studying with international studies. So we're gonna be offering two types of trips. We will offer a cultural immersive trip, which means that your student does not need to know the language to be able to take that trip. They'll be going abroad to experience very unique cultural activities that perhaps they can't experience here. So I'll give you an example because we have actually already chosen our first trip. Next spring, we will be going to Spain. And some of the activities that your students will do, they may go to a soccer game and experience sports culture. They may take a flamenco class. They may learn about food and art, sword making. There's all different kinds of cultural activities that we're going to try to give to them to experience. And we will be offering one per year. If your student were to travel on each one, by the time they graduate, they will have seen all four corners of the world because we will be very strategic in the countries that we choose to visit. The other type of trip that we'll be offering is a language immersive trip, meaning that if your student wants to become bilingual and fluent in their chosen language, they will have that opportunity. We will send them abroad to internship with the experts, work hand in hand in a business-based situation while living short-term in that country, speaking the language, using it daily, eating with a host family, communicating with friends that they're forming. So they are gonna get a true study abroad experience that you could only experience in college, in high school. So these are very unique opportunities. And so just to kind of summarize our program, we do offer the three programs. We offer a lot of similar things. Some of those things will be magnet cohort classes, meaning that your student will be in a class with other like-minded individuals who are passionate about the same things, and they build off each other and they help each other grow. They also will be given leadership instruction where we have specialized teachers come in and guest speakers who will teach them how to mature as a ninth grader into the person they need to be successful in the career field. We also all are going to be offering some hands-on experience and internships working with the experts and those study abroad opportunities. Now, these are unique opportunities for a magnet student. So if you're thinking, well, I would love to maybe do something at Cass, but maybe this magnet program isn't for me. These opportunities will only be offered to magnet students, okay? We will have an internationally focused curriculum as well. So that means that whatever class you're taking, whether it's English or history or science or math, you will have an international twist on it. And then finally, we will be offering diploma seals, which tell employers in the future that your student understands international skills. They have skills to communicate in that international economy or that international political realm. We also have some diploma seals that will promote their bilingualism. So according to how they do in their classes and on their tests, they may receive a diploma that says, this student is bilingual. Now, those of you who are grown-ups know if you had that on a piece of paper saying, I speak another language, how valuable that would be and how much employers would want to hire you. Did you know that people who are bilingual earn almost 20% more than their peers who aren't? And finally, we do have one that also showcases their engagement in the community, their civic responsibility. So I'm going to pass the mic back over to Dr. Shaprani. I've enjoyed speaking with you. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you so much, Emily. Now, for our last high school, but not least, I'd like to introduce David Stevenson, the principal of Woodland High School.
Good evening. I am thrilled to get to speak to you this evening. So proud of the commitment that our community is making to advance academics at each of the 3 high schools. This complete commitment is great for this entire community, and to be able to watch over the next several years the return on this investment as our students graduate, do incredible things at college and university, and then come back to our communities with the knowledge they've gained. It's just going to be spectacular to watch. At Woodland High School, our commitment to medical sciences really begins with an understanding that when we vision a career in medical science, whether it's a surgeon or a nurse practitioner or an optometrist or a health researcher, we vision somebody who is scholarly, somebody who has a vast array of knowledge and skill, also somebody who's compassionate and well-connected to the people that they're working with face-to-face and the community that they represent. So in that vein, Woodland High School is committed to those very principles when we approach advanced studies. As principal of Woodland High School, it's important to me that any advanced learners who are talented and motivated, that they are given advanced content to reinforce their needs and their commitments. So they're going to have the most advanced and rigorous instruction that is possible, taught by the most outstanding teachers in our building. But they're also going to have the enrichment. Because working hard and studying in books, that's important, but at the end of the day, the enrichment piece, the connections to the career field, the connections to their community, the why aspect has to be relevant, it has to be connected as well. When I walk into a classroom of juniors and I ask them about their experience in our program, it's going to be just as important to me that I see the sparkle in their eye at that point as it is when they walk in the door for the first time as Woodland High School magnet freshmen. So that enrichment piece is important. Mr. Willoughby will talk about some of the enrichment that goes along with the medical sciences program at our school. But it's also important to me that there's connectedness. And that connectedness works 2 directions. It works in the terms of our school, making sure that our students are well connected and have a strong foundation for success. Outstanding counselors, outstanding leadership from our coordinator, caring, sympathetic, and compassionate teachers, and a great cohort of peers around them to help push and pull and support them through their journey. It's also important that our students in this magnet program are connected to the larger high school experience, that connectedness to our championship athletics, to our award-winning fine arts programs, to their peers in the halls, to the pep rallies, to the homecoming weeks. That's important as well, because at the end of the day, working hard, achieving is made all the more enjoyable and important when there's an experience that's behind it as well. So when our students graduate from Woodland High School's magnet program, they'll be well prepared. They will have the enrichment so that they'll know why they worked as hard and studied as hard and learned as much as they did. And they'll have a foundation of connectedness where that compassion and that support for one another and that volunteerism that is so important when we talk about being an active citizen in our community is going to be well ingrained. I look forward to seeing where they go in 4 years in our building, and even more critically, where they go after that. I'm going to turn it over to our coordinator now, Mr. Eric Willoughby.
This is such a beautiful sight for us to see people here, and parents, congratulations for you to just come and show that you're excited about your child being involved in some advanced academic studies. My name is Eric Willoughby, as Mr. Stevenson said. I'm honored to be here. I've been in Bartow County Schools now for 12 years, 25 years of education, and now I'm a magnet coordinator, and I am so excited about the offering at Woodland High School. The Center for Advanced Studies in Medical Science is going to be such a unique opportunity. Like Mr. Stevenson said, don't think just, I'm going to be a doctor. Yes, that could be part of it, but there are so many opportunities. The array of opportunities is expansive. So what I want you to do is think outside of the box for a second and think about, we're talking to 14 and 15-year-olds next year, and I get that. So this first course offering that they're going to have, the foundation of their experience is advanced placement biology, a college-level course, and that may scare you. It kind of scares me as a parent. I have 2 children, both at the University of Georgia. I have 3 children, actually, but my 2 oldest are at the University of Georgia. Actually, my youngest is a 7th grader, and her mother is here because maybe she's going to want to come to one of these programs. Probably Woodland. I don't know. We'll see. No, but I do want you to know that I think about that. My kids had a great experience at Woodland High School, and they got into a great college, but it no way compares in any way to what you as a parent of an 8th grader right now could even imagine. And it all has to do with the things you've already heard about. But if they start in a college-level course, don't get scared. They're going to have the supports. They're going to have the counselor that's specified for them. They're going to have a magnet coordinator that is there to support them, to encourage them, to get them through those mornings where they're like, I didn't get my homework done. I'm going to be there to encourage them. And they're going to make it through this year-long expanded experience through AP Biology. And they're going to get that foundational experience with an advanced placement course. They're going to have an entry-level Introduction to Healthcare course that's going to give them that big, broad view of what the medical science world looks like. And paired inside of that course, there's going to be some leadership training. There's going to be some training on what is it like to study for the 8th and 9th advanced placement course, and how am I going to get through that? We're going to give them those foundational structures, and then we're going to bring in speakers. So imagine one day it's an orthopedic surgeon that comes in and talks to the kids and says, is this your dream? The next day, let's say it's a pharmacist that comes in. What do you think about pharmacy? The next day, it's a chemist that comes in that's looking at developing the next greatest pharmaceutical that solves the world's problems or cures the next type of cancer. These are the types of speakers that are going to spark that love and passion for these kids to then go into for us. And I'm going to go into a little bit more detail, not about our coursework specifically, but you need to understand that international studies, like, you're all like, what does that mean? And you heard it. You got it. Okay, it makes sense now. Medical science, you're like, I got it from the start. But now that you think a little bit deeper, what comes after this? If they're going to be doing research their junior year to prepare them for a project and a presentation that's tied into their internship, then we need to get them ready for that. In 10th grade, they're going to have an advanced placement language course paired with a seminar course where they're going to learn how to assimilate information, and they're going to get to the point where it's like, okay, now I got to figure out how to regurgitate it. I got to be able to write it. I've got to be able to speak it. I've got to be able to present it. And that's what we want to prepare them for, so that when they get to their junior year and they start going, okay, what do I want to dream about? I watched a video about somebody at a school. It was a STEM school, and there was a student that developed a prosthesis. Okay, this is where I get into love with what I used to do. I was a band director at Woodland High School for the last 11 years. A prosthesis for a kid to put on an arm she was missing most of her hand. She couldn't hold the instrument properly. And he developed, using a 3D printer, this prosthesis that allowed her to hold the instrument properly and be uniform with the rest of the students. And I'm thinking, there's innovation right there in a teenage mind ready to solve the next problem. I heard a podcast about a kid, 19 years old, that's already developing the technology to preemptively tell a person that breast cancer might be coming along. Crazy stuff. Teenagers coming up with this, and we want to get these kids' minds thinking that way by the time they're in 10th and 11th grade. We will have some other special course offerings, some biotechnology, microbiology, epidemiology, and studying how viruses and things spread throughout the world and how to predict and prepare for those types of situations if an epidemic were to come along. And there are obviously, we've talked about so many different things you can get in the medical field with a medical science degree. And we will have international travel, not just because we want to go abroad, because the world gets smaller when you travel. I took 220 students to New York City last year on a trip and a big performance. And one girl came up to me with tears in her eyes on Thanksgiving night after eating dinner. She said, "This has changed my life." She wasn't going to be a musician. She went on a trip and saw that the world is smaller than she thought it was, and she just fell in love with the fact that she's got such an opportunity to do whatever she wants to. So we're going to do things that are specifically focused and connected to their learning in the classroom in the medical field when we travel abroad. So if at the end of their sophomore year we go to London and we go up into Edinburgh and we go into some of these medical centers and see how what they learn there can be brought back into the classroom, that makes their learning experience come alive. And that's what we want for all of our students. And we hope that if the medical science field is something that stirs the passion inside your child, that they will apply for it and consider Woodland High School as their place for their future home. So I'm going to bring Dr. Cipriani back up here, ask him to come into the light and close it out.
Hey, let's give a round of applause for all of our magnet programs. Well done. That feels good. Thank you. So hopefully you saw a theme. This is a theme that went through all of our programs. Community partnerships are going to be strengthened throughout our system and outside our system. Field trips are going to be focused on relevant information abroad in our nation. College visits, we didn't mention that, but we're going to expand that opportunity, go to elite colleges around our nation. We have a new hire, Mr. Shropshire, who's going to be leading that and helping us lead that event. Guest speakers, bringing in professionals who have that keen understanding to bring them into our classrooms to learn, help our students learn. Research, really deep research. Projects in their junior and senior year to really stretch their minds. Internships all over our system, and a study abroad. So hopefully you kind of heard this theme throughout each presentation. Now, what are the requirements? What are we looking for when you guys are applying for our magnet program? So up here on the board, you'll see on the overhead, you'll see these requirements of what we're going to be looking at, okay? So students, pay attention. We're looking at your grades, okay? Primarily middle school. Test scores, PSAT 8-9, which is going to be happening next Wednesday, October 16th, in your middle school. How timely, right? Yes. And then recommendations from your teachers, okay? And written response. We're going to have 2 written responses on the application. All right? So this is what we're going to use to decide who will be admitted into our programs. All right? And then how do you apply? Like I said earlier, there's going to be an online application that you will log into, and I'll let you know, once you log in, you have to finish the application. So think about that. And we'll have more information as you guys meet with your high schools that you're interested in the next 2 weeks. But once you log in, you'll log in and you'll go through the whole entire process. It's a PowerSchool platform, which is right what we use for our student information systems already. So it's a PowerSchool platform. And we'll have links on our system and each school. And I just want to say right here, once you're accepted and agree to attend one of the 3 magnet schools, you are that student. You stay in that school. That's it. If you're accepted to Cass and you're going to international studies, when you start there, that's you. You can't stop and change and go to a different magnet school. Does that make sense? So you really got to make a really good decision in your mind. This is what I want to do. And when you commit, that's it. All right? So hopefully the online application will make it a lot easier, and most of the information we need from you as far as test scores and things like that, we can pull from PowerSchool. Okay? So it's going to be hopefully a fluid process to get that information to make the right decision. All right? And then I'm now going to bring up our superintendent, who's going to wrap this whole night into a big bow. So let's give him a round of applause.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. All right. Well, you've gotten a lot of information tonight, and I'm so excited. I hope that you can tell that as a school system, we are thrilled to be able to offer this to our students. It should be very clear, and you can do your own research, there's not anywhere around us that can provide the opportunities that we're going to for our high school students. And what I hope for you is that you have to make a very difficult choice, and that is, which of these magnet programs do I want to attend? Because you may be sitting here going, wow, I didn't even think about this one, but after I heard this presentation, maybe I want to encourage you, if there's just the slightest interest that you might be interested in one of the three, apply to it. Apply to all three. Or maybe you just go, I just want medical science and that's it. There's nothing wrong with that either. But I do want to encourage you, there's nothing wrong with applying to more than just one. So you may be thinking to yourself, well, how will I get there if I go away from my home school? And I also want to make this point. Just because you're zoned for one of these schools doesn't mean that you have an advantage to get in the magnet program, and it doesn't mean that by going to that school you're automatically in. You still have to apply. So if you're sitting here thinking, I'm an Adairsville Tiger, you still have to apply if you're interested in the Adairsville Science, Technology, and Math Magnet. So all will have to apply to get into a magnet. So if you apply and you get accepted and you choose to go to a magnet school that's not your home high school, we will be providing transportation. It will not be your standard coming to your door, pick you up, but we will have 3 to 4 sites, pickup sites, that as long as you get to one of those, the bus will come by and get you. And we've researched how other systems that have magnet programs provide their transportation. We're very similar. You're going to be doing it that way. It's worked well. It'll work well here too. So it won't be as close as your home, probably, but it will be either an elementary school that you could be dropped off and picked up, one of the middle schools, or a public site such as one of the restaurants or one of the just a public venue in the community. Again, we'll be following the lead of some other systems that have made the transportation piece work very well. So that would be a pickup and a drop-off spot. Extracurricular activities, we've talked about that. I want to encourage you, and the expectation is that you are involved in activities outside of the classroom. We expect our magnet students to be leaders on that campus. You have a lot to give, you have a lot to share. We need that from you. So we want you to give everything you got in the classroom, but no, we expect more than just that classroom. We want you to be the leader on that campus and the leaders. Out of district applicants, this is open to students outside of our county. Now, I will tell you this, we are looking for about 10% into the program. So if you are in county, and I also need to say this, our goal is to bring in about 50 students every year into each program. So every rising 9th grade class, we're looking to bring about 50 in. Now how that works is this. We're obviously going to invite more than 50. Think of college application. Colleges don't just say we want 1,000 students at Georgia for our freshman class, so we're only going to invite 1,000. You invite more, but know this, we may invite 80, 90, 100 students, and it's all based on how well your resume looks, how well your application looks. If all 80 accept, then guess what? That magnet school's taking 80. So we are prepared to take as many as we invite, but realistically in the research, some of you are going to be applying to more than one. Obviously, you get accepted by 2, say, one of them's not getting you. So the idea is we will be inviting more than we expect to take in, but we are prepared to take in as many that say yes that we invite. So know that if you get an invitation to join, you are in if you want it to that particular school. But our out-of-district applicants, we are only looking at inviting about 10% of our total applicants there. So if you are a Bartow County school student, if you're with us in 6th, 7th, 8th grade, and we're looking to get 50 students, 45 we are looking to invite from our county, 5 from outside. So obviously staying with us, being one of our students, gives you an advantage for the seats as far as when the commitments will go out, or I should say the invitations will go out. So we will take out district applications, but our in-county students obviously have more seats waiting on them. Specialized counseling, this will be very important. All our magnet students will have their own counselor, specialized in what it takes to get students into that high competitive traditional 4-year college. So the counselor will have special training in helping you navigate through this very competitive process of magnet and going to the next level of college.